Hi, I'm Colin Price from Benchmark Horse Feeds. In this video, I want to talk to you about two really different products, Balancer Mash and Achieve Sport. Let's talk about Balancer Mash first. Balancers are really interesting because they are incredibly versatile and a really useful tool when it comes to trying to achieve certain results or feeding for certain situations. They're very useful in that regard. So by definition, a balancer is a concentrate, high protein, grain-free, nutrient-dense product. The carbohydrates or the calories are low, but the nutrition is high. So that makes it really a versatile, useful product. Give you some examples of where a balancer can be used. If you have a pony that tends to get fat on the smell of an oily rag, which many do, you want to give them the nutrition without the calories. A small dose of balancer will do the job. Very low feeding rates for balancers that are high in nutritional value and high in protein. Another example, if you have horses on pasture, but you're not confident that the pasture is providing their vitamin and mineral requirements, a balancer can be used as a pasture balancer to top up any deficiencies that may be occurring. So you're using the balancer to provide nutrition, but using the pasture to provide energy. Similarly, as happens in a number of studs, they will use a balancer in conjunction with a base of grain for broodmares, for example. So it may be a steamroll barley base, to that using a balancer at perhaps 750 grams to 1 kilo per day per horse, depending on the stage and age and the quality of the pasture, to provide a balanced ration. Another way of using a balancer is to use it as a topper to provide more protein and more nutrition on top of a complete feed. You wouldn't use much in that case, or you may pull back the feeding rate on the complete feed if you add balancer. And a lot of people in the benchmark community use Perfect Mash, which is quite low protein, with balancer to help boost top line and muscle and condition for show season or for horses that just need a little bit of extra help. So in that case, you would feed a modest amount of balancer and you'd pull back on the recommended feeding rate of the Perfect Mash slightly because you're using those two feeds together. So a really useful product. Our Balancer Mash, as the name suggests, soaks to a mash, again because it's got protein meals, lupin and canola. They're quite fatty and resist water. It doesn't soak to a smooth mash the same way as Perfect Mash or Super Fiber Mash will. It takes a little longer, but it can be fed dry, so it doesn't have to be soaked to a mash. So you could use it, for example, with Super Fiber Mash as a base to give you energy through volatile fatty acid production, and you could use the balancer to provide the nutritional content in the ration with the protein. Makes a lovely feed. So that's some of the uses of balancer. Achieve Sport, the other end of the scale. Achieve Sport is our only muesli feed, grain-based feed. You can see that. So it's a beautiful product. We use micronized barley and a little bit of corn in the product to improve digestibility. And like steam extrusion, micronizing is an infrared cooking process which latinizes starches and improves digestibility in the small intestine to the 90% plus mark. So really good way to safely give some grain starch. But partnered with the grain starch, we use, there's a pellet in which the main ingredient is fermentable fiber, but also our protein meals, lupin and canola, higher levels of vitamin E, 546 IUs per kilo, so high vitamin E to support muscle function and recovery, and a really nice product for high performance sport. That could be polocross or polo or eventing or show jumping or racing. We're selling quite a lot of feed into the racing sector as well of this product. The The starch level of Achieve Sport is not quite as high as a pure race feed because the fermentable fibre dilutes the starch level down slightly and provides the energy through that volatile fatty acid pathway. So a lovely balanced product. That's our Balancer Mash and Achieve Sport. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we partner some of our feeds together in the next video. So stay tuned.